Okay. So my screen is visible to everyone? Okay. So in this third chapter, if we have to revise the points, whatever we have seen. So third chapter, it is framing the business ethics. So in that, we are considering all the things related to the corporation and the stakeholders. And basically, we have seen what is the difference in the previous approach related to stakeholders and what is the current approach related to stakeholders. It's two models also we have seen. So can anyone tell in previous approach or in previous model, the importance was given to which element? Anybody can answer? Which elements were of more importance as per the previous? Shareholders or stakeholders? Let's give the answers, please.
Shareholder.
Yes, shareholders were given more importance in the traditional model, whereas in the new model or in the upcoming approaches, the more importance was given equally to all the stakeholder. Means shareholder is one part of that elements which are important for any corporation or any business transactions. Okay, so we have seen the initial points, stakeholders, then corporation, what are key features of corporation, what is the CSR model, then we have seen the stakeholders theory of firm. So today we are going to see the 2 points that are just I am highlighting: corporate accountability, and second it is the corporate citizenship. Okay, so if we have to continue with the previous flow, let me revise the points quickly. So initially we have seen this definition. Corporation means what? So here you can see, previously we have considered what is meaning of corporation. After that, we have seen the definition of corporation, then the features of corporation, basic points we have considered related to the corporation. So these are the key features. त्याचे बेसिक राईट कोणाकडे असतात, सगळ्या ऍसेटची अकाउंटेबिलिटी म्हणजे सगळ्याचा हक्क, सगळ्या ऍसेट वरती कुणाचा हक्क असतो, ऑल दॅट बेसिक फीचर्स वी हॅव सीन रिलेटेड टू द corporation. Okay, after that we have seen the next point, that the discussion was made that whether the corporations have social responsibility. So two views were put for this point. In one, the Friedman has strongly opposed that there is no any social responsibility for corporate, and it is the total responsibility of government. That was one view put by him. And another, up to some extent, the corporations are also having the social responsibility. मग कुठल्या प्रकारची सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी असते कॉर्पोरेशन कडे? तर फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, they are morally responsible for their actions because they have the right for taking the decision. So themselves they are responsible for their actions. That one we have seen. And again, to see in detail which what responsibilities the corporations have, for that we have seen this CSR model. That CSR model is representing 4 responsibilities which the corporations should have. Okay, so 4 responsibilities, 4-fold model ahe. So diagram is like pyramid. Economic responsibility, then legal responsibility, third one ethical, and fourth one it is the philanthropic responsibility. So this model is very important. That is Carroll's 4-fold model for understanding the CSR in detail. Okay, that CSR model we have seen. After that we considered the point corporate social responsiveness. आता corporate social responsibility आणि corporate social responsiveness, these 2 points are different. Responsiveness म्हणजे काय, याच्यामध्ये काय पाहिलं आपण, in what way the corporations can respond, कुठल्या पद्धतीने त्या सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीला कॉर्पोरेट आहेत त्या किंवा कॉर्पोरेशन रिस्पॉन्ड करू शकतात. दॅट आर 4 ways. First one, it is reaction. Reaction means they are strongly opposing that they have this responsibility. Defense, accommodation आणि प्रोएक्शन हे 4 रिस्पॉन्सिव्ह टाइप आपण बघितले कॉर्पोरेशनचे. or these are the 4 responsive types of the corporate. Then we have seen what are the outcomes of CSR. Because of CSR, obviously there was improvement in the social aspect. किंवा कॉर्पोरेशनला त्यांची सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी समजल्यामुळे ऑब्वियसली त्याचे सोशल इम्पॅक्ट जे आहेत that social impacts are good. Okay, so outcomes we have seen. Then in the previous lecture we have seen the stakeholders theory of firm. Stakeholder theory of firm मध्ये काय बेसिक पॉइंट बघितले आपण. स्टेकहोल्डर म्हणजे काय. 2 टाइपचे स्टेकहोल्डर असतात. व्हॉट इज द डिफरन्स. इंटरनल स्टेकहोल्डर, एक्सटर्नल स्टेकहोल्डर. स्टेकहोल्डरची डेफिनेशन बघितली. Definition we have seen for stakeholder. After that we have seen the 2 models for the representation of relationship between the stakeholder and firm. So traditional management model and stakeholder model. That difference we have seen. These 2 models are used basically. Then why stakeholders matter or why the stakeholders are important? Because there are 2 main aspects to understand the stakeholders' importance. That is the economic perspective and the legal perspective. In that both the perspective, the stakeholders, all the stakeholders are related with the firm, not only the shareholder. त्याच्यामुळे stakeholders important आहेत. आणि स्टेकहोल्डर्सचे इम्पॉर्टन्स वाढल्यामुळे मॅनेजमेंटच्या रोल मध्ये काय चेंज झाला. इन द प्रिव्हियस theory or in the previous approach, management has to take care of or management has to look after only the shareholders. But as this new concept has been arrived that stakeholders are also of equal importance, so management has to take care of each and every stakeholder related to the corporation. त्यामुळे मॅनेजमेंटचा रोल त्या केस मध्ये चेंज झाला and they have to take care of all the stakeholders instead of taking the care of only shareholders. That was the new approach that we have seen. Okay, now up to this we have seen. So whether the points are clear or any doubt is there in that points whatever we have covered. Yes, please give the answers. Omkar, is it clear? The points whatever we have discussed in 3rd chapter. Omkar is there? Okay, Vaishnavi, shall we go to next point?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the next point we are going to see, that is corporate accountability. आपण स्टेकहोल्डर बघितले, राईट बघितले, त्यांच्या सगळ्या बेसिक गोष्टी आपण बघितल्या. आता कॉर्पोरेट अकाउंटेबिलिटी हा पॉइंट आपल्याला डिस्कस करायचा आहे. सो कॅन एनीवन टेल मी फर्स्ट व्हॉट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ अकाउंटेबिलिटी वर्ड. आता आपण कॉर्पोरेट अकाउंटेबिलिटी हा कन्सेप्ट बघणार आहे. सो व्हॉट डू यू मीन बाय दिस अकाउंटेबिलिटी वर्ड. अकाउंटेबिलिटी मीन्स व्हॉट. आपण बरेचदा शब्द वापरतो. So it's accountability. So what is its meaning? Yes. Can anyone tell? Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
My screen is not visible, I think.
Ma'am.
Okay. Accountability means what? अकाउंटेबिलिटीचा अर्थ काय होतो सांगा मला. Nobody? Yes, Vaishnavi. Can you?
Don't know, ma'am.
Don't know. Okay. So that अकाउंटेबिलिटी ह्याचा मराठी अर्थ होतो जबाबदारी किंवा एखाद्या गोष्टीची पूर्णतः जबाबदारी घेणे, त्याला म्हणतात अकाउंटेबिलिटी. मग आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल जेव्हा आय विल गिव्ह अ व्हेरी सिम्पल एक्झाम्पल इन डे टू डे लाईफ. आपण जेव्हा एखाद्याला एखाद्या गोष्टीचा अश्युरन्स देतो की आता तू हे कर आणि तुझं ते नीट होईल, दॅट इज कम्प्लीट माय रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. मीन्स व्हॉट? वी आर अकाउंटेबल फॉर दॅट पर्टिक्युलर थिंग. किंवा त्या गोष्टीला जे काही होईल परिणाम त्याची आपण जबाबदारी घेतो, पूर्णतः जबाबदारी स्वीकारणे ह्याचा अर्थ आहे, और दॅट इज द मिनिंग ऑफ अकाउंटेबिलिटी. ओके. मग आता इथं कॉर्पोरेट अकाउंटेबिलिटी मध्ये डिस्क्रिप्शन खूप आहे, बट मेनली व्हॉट यू हॅव टू अंडरस्टँड की कॉर्पोरेटची जबाबदारी काय. आता जेव्हा ह्या गोष्टी आपण डिस्कस केल्या की कॉर्पोरेशन्सला सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आहे का, त्याच्यावरती काय काय व्ह्यूज पुट केले गेले होते ते आपण डिस्कस केले. बट द मेन पॉइंट हियर वी हॅव टू कन्सिडर, इफ द कॉर्पोरेशन्स आर नॉट रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ऑल सोशल थिंग्स, सगळ्या सोशल गोष्टीला त्या जबाबदार आहेत असंही आपण म्हणू शकत नाही, किंवा कॉर्पोरेशनला कुठलीच सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नाही असंही म्हणू शकत नाही. सो देअर आर सम बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स, बेसिक सोशल रिक्वायरमेंट्स दॅट नीड टू बी फुलफिल्ड बाय दॅट कॉर्पोरेशन्स. आणि ह्या काय जबाबदाऱ्या आहेत कॉर्पोरेशनच्या, दॅट ऑलरेडी वी हॅव सीन. सोशल, देन इकॉनॉमिक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, philanthropic, legal, all that things we have covered. But here again the discussion based on this corporate accountability, what was the final conclusion that we have to discuss. So corporate accountability, so I will just erase this. So in this, in the Friedman's view, corporations should not undertake social policies and programs because this is the task of the government. So initially it was put by the Friedman scientist that the social responsibility is not there for any corporation. It is totally the responsibility of the government. So already we have seen that. And again, the another point which he has told, that is, since corporate managers are acting on the behalf of stakeholders rather than being elected by the general public, their accountability is primary to the stakeholder. म्हणजे एखाद्या कॉर्पोरेशनच्या मॅनेजरची जबाबदारी ही पूर्ण सोशल एलिमेंटशी रिलेटेड नसून जास्त करून ती कुणाशी रिलेटेड आहे, इट इज प्रायमरी रिलेटेड विथ देअर स्टेक होल्डर. त्या कंपनीचे जे स्टेक होल्डर आहेत त्या स्टेक होल्डरच्या प्रती हा कॉर्पोरेट मॅनेजरची जबाबदारी पहिल्यांदा आहे. मीन्स फर्स्टली when he is considering his responsibilities, first his primary responsibility is related with the stakeholders. So firstly he has to take care of that stakeholders whenever any decision needs to be taken, and rather than thinking of all the social elements or thinking of the public. That is the meaning of this first part, and that's why it is important that we make it clear what we mean by accountability in this context. मग आता कॉर्पोरेटचं जर जेव्हा आपण म्हणतो की कॉर्पोरेशनचे मेन एलिमेंट त्याचे स्टेक होल्डर्स आहेत, त्यामुळं कॉर्पोरेशनची मेन जबाबदारी कुठली आहे की दे हॅव टू टेक केअर ऑफ दॅट स्टेक होल्डर्स रादर दॅन कन्सिडरिंग द पब्लिक or rather than considering all the social elements. Okay. And then so corporate accountability refers to whether a corporation is answerable in some way for the consequences of its actions. So 2 points here we have to consider. Accountability मध्ये पहिला point कुठला आहे? Corporations have accountability mainly to their stakeholders and not to the public or not to the social aspects. And second, another thing you have to consider, as the corporations are taking the decisions by their own, that's why दुसरी जबाबदारी कुठली आहे त्यांची की they are answerable for their actions. म्हणजे एखादा जर त्यांनी डिसिजन घेतला आणि त्याचे जे काही परिणाम होतील म्हणजे consequences, so the another corporate accountability is related to facing for the consequences of their action. So these two things mainly the corporation is having related to this accountability. म्हणजे कॉर्पोरेशनची मेन जबाबदारी कुठली आहे? फर्स्ट, they have to take care of the stakeholders, and second, always they have to keep in mind that they are responsible or they are answerable for the consequences of their actions. Whatever they do, they have right, but they have to always keep in mind that whatever actions they are taking, त्याचे consequences काय असतील, त्या सगळ्या consequencesला त्यांनी answerable असलं पाहिजे. म्हणजे एखादा जर डिसिजन त्यांनी घेतला की जरी सोसायटी पूर्ण त्यांची जबाबदारी नसली तरी while taking decision they have to take care that there is no any harm to the society because of any transactions in their corporation. And in that way the second point is given that they are answerable in some way for the consequences of their action. Okay, so these 2 points are there mainly in the corporate accountability. आणि पुढे जो पॉइंट आहे ह्या कॉर्पोरेट अकाउंटेबिलिटी मध्ये, so that point is related with privatization of many political and some main processes. म्हणजे during the 1980 and 1990 a growing tendency towards the privatization of many political sector was done. म्हणजे हा जो एक पॉइंट आहे दुसरा, that is related with the conversion of many of the government sections into the private firms. So the reason behind that was mainly the government failure and increasing power and influence of the corporation. Okay, आता ह्या दोन गोष्टी थोड्याशा वेगळ्या आहेत ह्याच्यामध्ये ज्या आहेत त्या. मेनली तुम्ही कॉर्पोरेट अकाउंटेबिलिटी मध्ये एक पहिला पॉइंट लक्षात घ्या की कॉर्पोरेशन, सो रादर I will write in the word file so that you will understand whatever I am explaining in 2 parts. Just a minute. बघा आता आपण कुठला पॉइंट डिस्कस करतोय? कॉर्पोरेट अकाउंटेबिलिटी. Okay, so corporate accountability. Accountability means what? That I have explained. That is taking the responsibility. किंवा जबाबदारी. Okay, so the corporations have 2 main responsibilities. I am writing here. First responsibility of corporation is taking care of stakeholders. कारण ते पहिल्यांदा ज्यांची जबाबदारी त्यांच्याकडे आहे ती पहिली जबाबदारी आहे टेकिंग केअर ऑफ द स्टेकहोल्डर्स. अँड सेकंड इट इज व्हॉट? दे आर answerable for their actions or they are answerable for their decisions. हा झाला पहिला पार्ट. कुठल्या 2 रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आहेत कॉर्पोरेशनच्या. So I will write here as part 1 in this particular point. Then in second part of हे पहिले 2 पॉइंट समजले सगळ्यांना. मेन जबाबदारी कुठल्या आहेत? कुठल्या 2 जबाबदारी आहेत मेन कॉर्पोरेशनच्या किंवा कॉर्पोरेटच्या? अकाउंटेबिलिटी मीन्स जबाबदारी. मेन जबाबदारी काय त्यांची? Is that clear? What are the 2 main corporate responsibilities?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, मैडम प्लीज ये दरवाजा थोड़ा लगत है क्या? So what are the 2 main responsibilities of corporation? So first one it is taking care of stakeholders and second one it is the answerable for their actions. These are the 2 things. Now in the second part of this point, I will write here part 2. So in part 2 we have to discuss the aspect related to conversion of many of the government sectors. Conversion of many of the government sectors or many of the government firms into the privatization. 1980 to 1990, in that period, many of the government sectors, they were converted into the privatization. Okay, or they were converted into the private sectors. And why it was done? There are two reasons because of that this has happened, and that two reasons I will write here. So first reason, it is the government failure. मी आधी लिहिते इथं तो सिक्वेन्स लक्षात घ्या, मग आपण एक एक एक्सप्लेन करू यातले पॉइंट. पार्ट 2 आय एम हायलाइटिंग हियर. पार्ट 2 मध्ये आपण बघतोय की इन 1980 to 1990 या पिरियड मध्ये कन्व्हर्जन झालं गव्हर्नमेंट सेक्टरचं प्रायव्हेटायझेशन मध्ये. आणि त्याचे मेन रिझन कुठले होते? तर फर्स्ट रिझन वॉज गव्हर्नमेंट फेल्युअर अँड सेकंड रिझन वॉज द increasing importance of the corporations. So second reason it is given here, increasing power and influence of the corporation. So I will write here the increasing power or increasing influence of the what? Increasing influence of whom? सांगा मला.
Corporation.
Increasing the influence of the corporation. मग ह्या दोन कारणामुळं 1980 ते 1990 ह्या पिरियड मध्ये many of the government sectors or many of the government firms, they were converted into the corporation. Okay, and these are the two reasons that we have to discuss. So we have to see 2 points in this corporate accountability. First is very simple. What are the main accountability of the corporations? First is taking care of stakeholders, and second, being answerable for their actions. Then the another part we have to see here, that in 1980 to 1990 there was conversion of many government sectors into the privatization part, and the two reasons were for that: government failure and increasing influence and increasing power of the corporation. Okay, so that second point we will elaborate now. So I will just erase this and I will just highlight. बघा आता ह्या सेकंड पार्ट मध्ये काय आहे. ओके, सो here I am highlighting, during the late 1980s and 1990, a growing tendency towards the privatization of many political and process formally assigned to governments. There were two main reasons for this development. First was government failure and second, increasing power and influence of the corporations. आता गव्हर्नमेंट फेल्युअर म्हणजे कुठल्या गोष्टीमध्ये गव्हर्नमेंट फेल्युअर झालं असं आपण म्हणू शकतो? सो इन गव्हर्नमेंट फेल्युअर द मेन थिंग is risky society and institutional failure of the politics. Okay, so in that we have to consider, in some of the cases, to reduce the risk related to the society or to reduce the harm related to the society, there was some failure by the government. Okay, so again these are all the things which are based on that particular situation. It is not applicable in nowadays or it is applicable forever. त्या काळामध्ये काय झालं आणि कशामुळे गव्हर्नमेंटचं फेल्युअर झालं, that things are discussed here. So why the government failure has arrived? So in 1986 the German sociologist Ulrich Beck published a book under the title Risk Society, and he starts by describing the ways various threats to survival of the mankind. मग कुठल्या कुठल्या गोष्टींमुळे सोसायटीच्या रिस्क ज्या आहेत त्या गव्हर्नमेंट कडून प्रॉपरली मॅनेज होऊ शकल्या नाहीत आणि त्याच्यामुळे गव्हर्नमेंट फेल्युअर झालं. दॅट थिंग्स आर डिस्क्राइब्ड हियर. सो फॉर एक्झाम्पल, risks of nuclear power, risks of global warming, risks of industrial agriculture, and risks of inherent in new technologies such as genetic engineering. Okay, so for example, in Europe, such risks certainly came dramatically to the attention of general public with landmark. Okay, so what is the here point that you have to understand? That why the conversion was made from government into the privatization. त्याच्यामधला पहिला पॉइंट आहे गव्हर्नमेंट फेल्युअर. मग हे गव्हर्नमेंट फेल्युअर मीन्स व्हॉट किंवा गव्हर्नमेंट फेल्युअर कशामुळे झालं की त्याच्यातला एक पॉइंट आहे रिस्की सोसायटी. रिस्की सोसायटी म्हणजे काय की ह्या 1986 इन दॅट इयर जर्मन सोशियोलॉजिस्ट अल्ट्रिच ही हॅज पब्लिश सम बुक रिलेटेड टू द रिस्क सोसायटी. म्हणजे सोसायटीच्या ज्या जनरल रिस्क आहेत किंवा त्यांच्या ज्या थ्रेट्स होत्या त्या पर्टिक्युलर पिरियड मध्ये that threats he has mentioned in that. So what are the threats there? Risk of nuclear power. Nuclear power, that invention, though it is useful in another way, it can be used in harmful way also for destruction of the society. So nuclear power risk was there. Risk of global warming. So because of continuous increase in the temperature, there was again a risk of damage of that society or damage of the environmental aspect. Risks of industrial agriculture, इंडस्ट्रीतल्या पोल्युशन मुळे जे काय रिस्क प्रोड्यूस झाल्या ह्या सगळ्या रिस्क ज्या आहेत that all risks he has mentioned in this risk society book. And to manage that particular risk or to minimize that particular risk, government was partially failed. So that is the first reason for conversion of the government sectors into the private sectors. Okay, so that is the first part. So again, here is in detail another description. Why do government fail? So that point it is not there in the syllabus. Just you can read it for your reference. So there are some examples given here. Why the government fail in such aspect. Okay, so that you can refer. And second aspect for conversion of conversion of the government sectors into the private sectors, that was corporate power on the rise. And because of all that failure of the government, corporate power किंवा corporateच्या working वरती publicचा trust वाढला. And that's why the many of the government sectors, they were converted into the private sector. Okay, so second reason is explained here. The rise in corporate power and influence, even the past 20 years also has been receiving growing attention from academics and the general public like. So because of the increasing power of the corporation and their working is good, that people felt as compared with the government. That's why many of the sectors were converted into the or many of the government sectors, government sections were converted into the private sectors, or they were converted into the corporations. Okay, so the crucial point is the critical view is the arguments that across the globe people's lives are increasingly controlled and shaped no longer only by government but also by the corporations. Okay, so corporation's power त्या केस मध्ये वाढली and that has occurred. Conversion has been occurred. So here are some examples given where the conversion took place. First, you tell me you understood this point. What point we have discussed now? Krishna, can you tell me what point we have discussed right now? Krishna Kohli is there? Give the answer, Krishna. Are you there? First tell me whether you are present for the lecture or not. That means you are not present. You are not responding suddenly. Okay, Meenakshi, are you there? Meenakshi Patil. Vaishnavi.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so are you clear with this point? What point we have discussed currently? यापैकी कुठला पॉइंट आता डिस्कस केला आपण सांगा. कॉर्पोरेट अकाउंटेबिलिटी पहिल्यांदा बघितलं. ह्या दोन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आहेत कॉर्पोरेटच्या. corporation. And right now, what point we have discussed? What point we have discussed currently? That why the conversion of government. Yes, you can answer.
Why the government failed?
Why the government failed, or why the conversion of government sector was made into the privatization. Okay. So first, government was failed, and second, increasing influence of the corporation. Description मध्ये आपण बघितलं गव्हर्नमेंट फेल्युअरची कारण काय आहेत, that they were not able to manage this particular society related risky points. पॉइंट कुठल्या पॉइंट मध्ये रिस्क आहे ते दिलेले तिथं. मग ह्या सायंटिस्टनी 1986 मध्ये रिस्क सोसायटीचे जे काही पॉइंट सांगितले ते सगळे पॉइंट्स प्रॉपरली गव्हर्नमेंट कडून मॅनेज होऊ शकले नाहीत ऍट दॅट पिरियड. that's why it was resulted into the government failure. That is one thing. And because of corporate power in rise, किंवा corporate ची power वाढल्यामुळं त्या केस मध्ये people trusted more on the corporation than the government, and that's why that conversion has taken place from that government sector into the private sectors. आणि त्याचे काही examples दिलेले आहेत इथं. So let us look at some examples. This one so I'm just not getting that. Deregularization of market and industries during the rule of the government. So whatever is the deregulation of market and industries during the government in many countries since 1980 has given more influence, liberty and choice to private sectors. Okay, so just we can say decentralization. Okay, बऱ्याचदा काय होतं की खूप गोष्टी जेव्हा गव्हर्नमेंटला सेंट्रली रिलेटेड असतात तेव्हा ऑल दॅट रेग्युलेशन्स आर विथ द गव्हर्नमेंट ओनली. बट डिरेग्युलेशन म्हणजे काय, एखादी गोष्ट मार्केट मधल्या इनिशियली व्हॉट वॉज द केस दॅट ऑल द राइट्स रिलेटेड टू मार्केट इंडस्ट्री that was mainly related with the government, पण परत ते सेंट्रली होतं सुरुवातीला आणि रेग्युलेशन पण सेंट्रली होत होतं. सो इन दॅट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस कन्वर्जन व्हॉट हॅपन, त्याचं डिरेग्युलेशन झालं किंवा आपण काय म्हणू शकतो त्याला इन अनदर वर्ड वी कॅन से डिसेंट्रलायझेशन हॅज हॅपन. म्हणजे एका गव्हर्नमेंट कडेच पूर्ण राईट असण्याच्या ऐवजी दॅट राइट्स वेर डिवायडेड इन टू द व्हेरियस कॉर्पोरेशन्स. अँड initially it was controlled wholly by government, and then it was in the second conversion point it was controlled by the corporation. Okay, so this is one of the example given. So many major industries such as media, telecommunication, transport, it has again initially it was controlled by the government, but in later it was controlled by the various corporations. Okay, so these are the some of the examples given for that conversion. Okay, so many more examples are also given. You can read it as an additional part. Okay, so this was the point related to the social accountability. Social accountability मध्ये दोन point आपल्याला बघायचे होते. What are the main two responsibilities of corporate, and then in second part we have seen why the conversion of government sectors took place into the private sectors. So two reasons, government failure and increasing influence of the corporation, that two main reasons are there, and that examples also we have seen. म्हणजे ज्या काही कंपन्या आहेत किंवा जे काही एक्झाम्पल्स आहेत जिथं सुरुवातीला सगळे राईट गव्हर्नमेंट कडे होते म्हणजे सेंट्रली एका ठिकाणी होते, but because of this conversion that were again distributed or that were decentralized and it was divided, the rights were divided into various corporations or in group of the private sectors. Okay, so that is the point in social accountability, sorry, in the corporate accountability. Okay, so now the next point we are going to see, so I will just highlight it with some different color. So now we are going to see this point corporate citizenship. So corporate citizenship याचा अर्थ काय होतो की when we are considering any corporation, what is their responsibility as a citizen, okay, or how we can represent or how we can relate the responsibilities of corporation as a citizen. म्हणजे कुठल्या टाइपच्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कॉर्पोरेट कडे असतात. That is one aspect we are going to consider under this point, corporate citizenship. Okay, so we will see the background. Towards the middle of 1990, the term corporate citizenship, so usually it is abbreviated as CC. So corporate citizenship emerged as a new way of addressing the social role of the corporation. So this was the one aspect, or this term was invented to explain the role of corporation or the social role of corporation, and that is represented by this word corporate citizenship. Then CC have also increasing been introduced into academic literature. In terms of academics, it was explained. Then CC largely started in US. Numerous companies in Europe have since committed themselves CC and various consultancies and research centers based around the concept of the corporate citizenship. So initially it was invented in Europe. It was invented in the field of academics, and also it was invented in the form of the or it was invented in the various companies in Europe, and that's why they have committed themselves to behave, or they have committed themselves to follow this corporate citizenship or follow some societal aspect also when they are working in the corporation. So that is the background related to this. Corporationचा social role explain करण्यासाठी ही term use केली गेलेली आहे 1990 मध्ये, and initially it was invented in Europe, and they committed for following whatever are the norms of that corporate citizenship policy. Okay, so that was the background related to this corporate citizenship, and there are three perspectives, or we can say there are three types. Three types are there in this corporate citizenship, and that three types are: first is a limited view of CC, then an equivalent view of CC, and an extended view of CC. So here the corporate citizenship, त्याचे तीन टाइप आहेत किंवा त्याचे तीन पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह आहेत असं आपण म्हणू शकतो. First is limited view of corporate citizenship. Then second, limited view of corporate citizenship. Then second one, the equivalent view of corporate citizenship. And third one, it is the extended view of corporate citizenship. Okay, so that three views are there to explain the corporate citizenship concept. So first, one by one, we will see. मग आता पहिला पॉइंट आहे याच्यातला, just a minute. First point, it is limited view of corporate citizenship. So what is the behavior expected in that case? So in this we will see corporate citizenship used to identify the philanthropic role and responsibility of firm voluntarily undertake in the local community, such as the charitable donations. Limited view of CC tends to focus completely on the direct physical environment of the company, resulting in a strongly focused on local communities and main stakeholders of the firm. Okay, so before going to the explanation in detail, I will just tell you the meaning of these three views for corporate citizenship. शब्दांवरून लक्षात येईल तुम्हाला. पहिला आहे लिमिटेड व्ह्यू ऑफ दिस कॉर्पोरेट सिटीजनशिप. सेकंड इक्विव्हॅलंट. लिमिटेड म्हणजे काय? इट इज रिलेटेड ओनली विथ द फिलॉन्थ्रोपिक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज ऑफ द कॉर्पोरेशन. म्हणजे कॉर्पोरेशनच्या फक्त फिलॉन्थ्रोपिक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज काय आहेत त्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज ह्या पहिल्या व्ह्यू मध्ये कन्सिडर केल्या जातात. दॅट इज अ लिमिटेड व्ह्यू ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट सिटीजनशिप. मीन्स द रोल not much more is expected by the corporations related to the society. हा पहिला व्ह्यू झाला, पहिला पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह झाला. सेकंड आहे इक्विव्हॅलंट व्ह्यू ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट सिटीजनशिप. ह्याच्यामध्ये काय होतं? सो हिअर दिस इक्वेट्स सीसी विथ कॉर्पोरेट फिलॉन्थ्रॉपी. म्हणजे जे काही which is generally good for all the human beings that is supposed to be done by the society, that is expected in this first view, limited view. An equivalent view of CC, in that what is expected? This equates corporate citizenship with corporate social responsibility. CSR चं जे मॉडेल आहे त्याच्यामध्ये ज्या 4 रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दिलेल्या आहेत त्या चारही रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इथं कॉर्पोरेशनने करणे एक्सपेक्टेड आहे. हा सेकंड व्ह्यू झाला. इक्विव्हॅलंट व्ह्यू ऑफ CC means this equates CC with corporate social responsibility. That is the second view. And third view काय आहे? An extended view of corporate citizenship, in that it acknowledges the extended political role of corporations in the society. म्हणजे apart from the CSR, some more responsibilities are expected from the कॉर्पोरेशन्स. ह्या 3 पद्धतीने आपण कॉर्पोरेट सिटीजनशिपला डिवाइड करू शकतो. वन्स अगेन आय एम समरायझिंग, प्लीज ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड. फर्स्ट व्ह्यू इज लिमिटेड व्ह्यू ऑफ CC. लिमिटेड व्ह्यू ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट सिटीजनशिप मध्ये काय एक्सपेक्टेड आहे कॉर्पोरेशन कडून? की फक्त कॉर्पोरेशननी फिलॅन्थ्रॉपिक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीजचा विचार करून त्या फॉलो केल्या पाहिजेत. म्हणजे लिमिटेड झाली त्याची रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. इक्विव्हॅलंट व्ह्यू मध्ये काय? कॉर्पोरेशन्स सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी मध्ये जे काही 4 पॉइंट्स दिलेले आहेत 4 पॉइंट मॉडेल मध्ये त्या सगळ्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कॉर्पोरेशनने फॉलो करायला पाहिजेत. हा झाला इक्विव्हॅलंट व्ह्यू ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट सिटीजनशिप. आणि थर्ड पॉइंट काय? एक्सटेंडेड व्ह्यू ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट सिटीजनशिप म्हणजे काय? की अपार्ट फ्रॉम द 4 responsibilities mentioned in the CSR, somewhat political role is also expected by the corporations, or some political responsibilities also need to be accepted by the corporations. So these 3 views are there. So are you clear with that basic concept? कुठले 3 व्ह्यू आहेत? म्हणजे ह्या 3 व्ह्यू पैकी कशामध्ये जास्त रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज एक्सपेक्टेड आहेत मला सांगा कॉर्पोरेशन कडून? आउट ऑफ दॅट 3 rows, what is expected out of that, or which one it is more expectation in that 3 roles or 3 perspectives? Tell me. लिमिटेड, इक्विव्हॅलंट का एक्सटेंडेड व्ह्यू मध्ये कुठल्या ऍस्पेक्ट मध्ये किंवा कुठल्या पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह मध्ये कॉर्पोरेशन कडून जास्त रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज आहेत एक्सपेक्टेड?
एक्सटेंडेड व्ह्यू ऑफ कॉर्पोरेशन.
एक्सटेंडेड व्ह्यू मध्ये. ओके. सो लिमिटेड, just summary we have seen. Now this first point we will see in detail. Limited view of corporate citizenship. So it was used to identify the philanthropic role and responsibility of the firm voluntarily. It undertakes the local community such as charitable trust, donations, and it tends to focus completely on the direct physical environment of the company, resulting in strongly focus and local communities. So for example, it identifies being good corporate citizenship with the names of CSR, namely the philanthropic responsibility. Citizenship in this respect is essentially about putting something back into the community and is based on the corporation receiving from society. So we will see that points in detail in the next lecture. फक्त आता पहिल्या पॉइंट बद्दल एवढं लक्षात ठेवा की in this only philanthropic responsibilities are expected. So no more importance is for legal, economic or other responsibilities. So that is the first part. Okay, so we will see this point in detail in the next lecture. Okay, so we will stop here today. You just type your number in the chat box and you can leave the meeting.